My name is Clarence Raeford Miller, formerly known as Raeford, and I'm standing in front of my house here. I've been here since 1992. This is my home, Smithville community. I have a brother, two sisters, so four of us, and we're all close. So we're all still intricate part of the Smithville community. 1971, I moved from here, went to NC State as a freshman. I had one of those extended college experiences. And at one point, I was called a career student. I graduated in 1979 with a degree in business economics. Because by 1979, I had gotten a little homesick and wanted to come home. 81, I came back, involved with a lot of highway construction around here. That's a lot of people got to know me through that measure. I had become involved with controlled substance, crack cocaine, and became addicted. So by 1996, I'm about to lose my job, which I did. I had been a construction technician, a Tech 3. In fact, in Division 10, which covers Mecklenburg County, there were only 2 African-American Tech 3s. I was one of them. I was pretty good at what I did, but it wasn't enough to save my job. Well, anyway, for a while, I transferred those skills over into private construction companies, and I worked for them for years. But you know, the weight of that kind of addiction overcame everything. So there came to a point where I'm jobless and about to lose my house, and here comes the support of a mother that loves me and cares about me. If it hadn't been for her involvement, I probably would have lost the house. That's another burning desire with me to return to it, because that's what she'd always wanted. And there's no options with that. In those years, this is, like I said, in a little tight-knit community like this, nothing goes unnoticed. So I became very noticeable, I guess you would call a person of interest. And of course, you're involved with those like-minded people that are doing drugs too, because I was the only one that had his own house. If you have any history of this kind of addiction, that a lot of people did it, and maybe their wife or their mother or their father didn't know, so they couldn't use it home. So of course that made my place very, a go-to place, and that's what it became. That kind of lifestyle, of course, led to 19 months incarceration. And like I said, that was almost 3 years ago, and I never looked back at it. In fact, I have people who ask me, and not to diminish this, they say, how many meetings you go to? I didn't go. The only meeting I needed was that moment when I was incarcerated in Hyde County, and they were funeralizing my mother, and I couldn't be there. So that was probably, for most people, several years of treatment, meetings, all wrapped into one. And so, like I said, again, I never looked back. And unfortunately, a lot of those people are still around here, and they're still struggling with it. And that's another reason why, I want to, if you can call it, resurrect this house. Where it was once a meeting place for stuff like that, now it'll be a meeting place for something else, a whole lot more positive. So that, more than anything, is what drives me to get back in the house. I have some structural problems dealing with the floor in the kitchen and the hallway. Couple windows need replacing. Reinstall the plumbing in the kitchen. Of course, every room needs painting. Like I said, I had an addiction that You know, if you start looking at anybody with this kind of addiction, wherever they lived at has deteriorated. And of course, that's what it looks like there. Originally, when I put the house here as a modular home, I couldn't afford but so much. So the upstairs was left unfinished. It would have been another $10,000 to get it finished. I've always entertained the idea of addressing the homeless issue around here. And a lot of people don't realize there is one, but there is. And, this bottom floor is enough room for me. I thought about at some point, making studio apartments. Like I said, the original building that stood here had been renovated in such a way it had a outside entrance for the upstairs. So it's just a thought, but that's a way of addressing that issue. I've always wanted to be in a position to return something to my community, and I think the care center does that better than anything I can. My time that I've spent in the last 2 years basically is with the care center. And if the foliage wasn't there, you can see the care center. So I'm just looking for the day when I can walk out the steps and I don't even have to ride a bike. I can walk across the park to work. Manny, the director, was known widely around here because he built habitat houses for over 15 years. So a lot of people know him through that measure. That's how I came to know him. I came back from treatment, whatever you want to call it, and after a couple of years. And to be involved in something, I began to volunteer specifically just for the Manna program. And the Manna for Life, where we feed 35, 50 families once a month. I thought I could make good use of my time doing that. And that's how I started, and that graduated into me having administrative responsibilities with the whole operation. Man, it entrusted me with a lot of things that, I never thought it would get to that. But I'm very proud of it, and like I said, Manny, I owe a lot to Manny. He has a lot of faith in me, and that's a drive that you can't duplicate. A lot of the people don't even know what we do, so we're constantly reaching out. We have all kinds of programs. They mentor and tutor a lot of the kids, along with the Manna for Life program. They have classes where they teach second language, English as a second language. We just try to make ourselves useful and available to anybody that needs some help.